Now, what is up, my fellow prod coders? Welcome to this video, and today we'll start working on our search results list. So this is already the finished application. I'm just going to show you what we're about to do. So let's just say we search for burgers here in Berlin, and bam, we get a list of results. Kind of nice, but before we start looking into what components we actually need, let's just check out the URL here. So previously we were at the root of the project, and now we are at /search, and then we have these two query parameters here, this find descending and find location. And by the way, this is not something I came up with, but this is just the URL schema that Yelp is using. Like whether that's the best thing to do and like whether the name is good or not, that's like a totally different issue. So let's just use it like let's just do it like they do it, and let's just use that. But this also means that we need routing capabilities within our app, and to do that we are going to install React Router. So React Router is basically a pretty standard routing library. So if you go to, I think it was /web, yes, here it is. All we need to do is we need to npm install this package and then do a little bit of setup, and then we can have our routing. So let's just say npm install react router DOM. And by the way, right now hooks are still relatively new, and right now React Router doesn't offer a hook, and that's why we are also going to use this use React Router package. And the reason for that is that here we already have a hook, and then all our components within the application we're about to build will be functional and will only use hooks. So if you watch this video later on, then probably React Router has already released the hook, and there's no need for this package. But right now they haven't released it yet, so let's just use that. And we're going to say npm install use React Router. Cool. So if we go back to our browser, like just npm installing React Router is unfortunately not sufficient. So we need to wrap our application inside this browser router component. And this browser router component is basically intercepting is listening to the changes in the URL and is then displaying the proper components. So it's really important to make this work, or to use this, otherwise it will not work. And an easy way to do this is just to go to our index.js file and just say browser router, and then put this here, and then we can say import browser router from React Router DOM. Okay, so right now theoretically routing should work inside our application, or we should in principle be able to do routing. So we haven't set up any routes yet, but at least the application shouldn't crash if we start it. Okay, interesting, it's a named import, so they have a named export. Okay, nice. So now it seems to work. One thing we should do here, we should create like a dummy or like a placeholder component for our search results, just with a little bit of text so that we see if our router is working. So let's create a search folder under source, and let's create search.js and search.module.css. And inside here we're just going to import React from React, and then we're going to say export function search, currently with no props, and then we're going to say let's just return a div with search. Okay, So right now in our app component, we are we're always displaying this landing page. But what we actually want is we want our landing page to be displayed when we are at slash, and we want our search component to be displayed when we are at slash search. And the way this works in React Router, we'll use something called a switch. And a switch is basically similar to the construct of a switch case in most programming languages. So it will just say, okay, here's a bunch of cases. Just find the first case that matches the current situation. And in case of React Router, it just like takes a look at the path at the current URL, and then it's going to render one particular route, or like the first route that matches. So everything we need, all we need to do is we need to say route, and then we say if our path is slash search, then we're going to render search. And if our path is slash, then we're going to render our landing page component. And we can delete this. And of course, we still need to import all of that. So we can say a route and switch from React Route DOM. And we also need to import search. That's a named exporter, I think, from search slash search. Yes. So what this is going to do is it's going to say, hey, just check the path of the current URL. And if you happen to be at path slash search, then render search. Otherwise, if you're at slash, then render a landing page. And one thing here is important though, the order here matters, because it's not performing an exact matching, it's doing a prefix matching. And since every path starts with a slash, like here it starts with a slash and here it starts with a slash, and in general, just like every path starts with a slash, if we were to put this, or if we were to swap this out, these two lines, we would always see the landing page, because this would always be the first match. Now there's additional options to allow like exact matching and these kind of things, but I'm not going to dive into that right now. So let's just try it out. Let's just go back to our browser, and we still see everything. And what happens if we go to slash search? Bam! We see our search component. Isn't that nice? So we've successfully set up routing inside our application. This is pretty neat. Let's quickly commit these changes. So we're going to say git status. Yeah, makes sense, sort of. Say git add -a, git commit -m, and then we say add React router. And then we say git push. Cool. So now our changes are pushed. This is really nice. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, because we will continue with building out our search results list.